Thank you, distinguished panel and guests we have here today. We're happy to be here and with distinguished guests, particularly from Saudi Arabia. It makes sense to me that the U.S. has had a long relationship in the field of energy for generations with Saudi Arabia, and it makes continuing effort to do that as we work together to produce nuclear power. We talked earlier, there's some 60 units throughout the world being built, and I'd like to say that it looks like we're the world's constructor of nuclear power plants, are building some 20% of the nuclear generation currently under construction throughout the world, from China to the United States. You know, I started the company 25 years ago, in fact, this week, with 3 people. Today we have over 30,000, if I can get this to work here, 30,000 employees. And one of the things we do in particular is have a dramatic effect not only on the U.S. Nuclear industry, maintaining over 50% of the nuclear reactors in the United States, but as well as building new nuclear reactors throughout the world. We also own 20% of Westinghouse, which has the only passive technology currently under construction in the world, which simply means that the ability for an operator to walk away from a plant to have an effective shutdown without operator assistance, such as was needed in Fukushima. So it's a dynamic technology, this 3rd generation technology, and the only technology of that type currently under construction. In fact, 2 of the 4 of the plants that we're building currently are not far from here. Scana is about 4-hour drive, and right here in Georgia, the Southern Company, we're building Plant Vogtle, which is 2 1,100 megawatt nuclear reactors that are currently under construction. That's a current picture of the site. I was there yesterday. We have some 1,500 people presently employed designing and building on the site here in Georgia, and we look forward to getting our final permit to proceed with building the plant relatively soon, right? And they never miss the opportunity to ask, right? Nothing like putting you on the spot. So we're also not only we build nuclear power plants and other plants on a worldwide basis. We're currently under construction of 2 units in China. They're scheduled to be complete, the first units, in 2013. It seemed a long time ago, 3 years when we started, but now we're relatively close, less than 24 months from having 2 operating nuclear plants with this new dynamic Westinghouse technology. At this point, they continue to be on schedule and on budget. I know a lot of times we hear, first thing we say on nuclear power is in the past, it's overrun, taking a lot of time, long excess time. But most of these power plants in the United States were built before computers had anything to do with design and construction. You know, we recently completed Browns Ferry, which was basically only the concrete, safety concrete had been poured. We completed that plant on time and on budget. We're doing a huge project for Mox. So that's, you know, today, what happened 20 years ago and what happened today, I think we've learned our mistakes in the past, having 1 operating permit to design and build plants and move on. We're not going to have the issues that we've had. We haven't had it in China, and I suspect we won't have them in the United States. And I think that our ability to control the modularization and building of nuclear plants, it's one that we're not talking about anymore, we're actually doing. We have a lot of experience in Saudi. We have completed over 70 plants in Saudi Arabia, completing up to 12,000 peak man hours on a recent project there. And one of our premier projects that we've ever done, it was out without a lost time accident on this 5-year project, which we always say the safer the project, the higher quality the plant will be, both to human life as well as to the operation of the plant. And safety is one of our core values in our company, that we don't, not just in the U.S., but every job site that we participate in throughout the world is as safe as we would have one being built right next to our homes. That's kind of the philosophy that we use in building projects throughout the world. Saudi Arabia and nuclear power, you know, at first, a few years ago when the concept was first introduced, I took a step back, and first you realize that the oil and gas resources are a great abundance, but then you take a further step back, and that the future will rely on alternative energies so that the oil and gas can be used for more higher value conversion in the economic cycle. We believe that that nuclear power fits well, and what we particularly like is that we're not developing a nuclear power plant for our country, but we're developing an entire industry. Something that we've done well in the past. One thing we do is we not only develop and build nuclear power plants, but we manufacture many of the components, and many of the components we manufacture locally. We manufacture all the modules, piping, and steel associated with nuclear power plants at our factories. And we have factories in, not in Saudi currently, but in Bahrain and UAE and other places throughout the world, as well as the United States. So we're not only designers and builders and technology, we're also manufacturers of major components of the plant. We talked a little bit about moving forward on technology selections and a 1, 2, 3 agreement, and I think that the U.S. Will, as President Obama said in Prague, that the non-proliferation agreement participation applies to all countries, and we fully anticipate that as we go forward, that the 1, 2, 3 agreement will work through the U.S. Congress and administration. I can speak outside that in a orderly and quick fashion, and certainly I know everyone here will promote that type of activity. Our team to deliver plans, so we've tried to do a complete solution. Our partnership with Westinghouse and Toshiba, as well as Exelon and local Saudi contractors, brings a complete solution to develop an industry. As I mentioned earlier, we're not only design and build with the latest technology in the world, but we're also able to maintain and operate with Exelon, who is the largest fleet owner of nuclear power plants in the United States, and commonly referred to as the most efficient owner and operator of nuclear power plants. With our partners in Saudi Arabia, gives you a complete solution, not only to build plants, but to operate and train and develop an industry, and a team that certainly is world-class in anybody's opinion. You know, the nuclear power plants create an industry, not just the building of a plant, but the technology transfer that we've done in other countries, and under the right conditions, develop industries to support the operations, from light manufacturing to heavy manufacturing. And in the particular case of Saudi Arabia, a lot of these manufacturing techniques that we use in nuclear power can be transferred to the petrochemical industry as well. So the components that are used in the building of these plants can also be used, transitioned to the oil and gas industries as well, creating thousands of jobs and jobs that are very technologically oriented, and ones that we'll help train and develop people, as we are in China and have done elsewhere in the world. Westinghouse likes to say we like to build and develop where we build. So we believe that that the nuclear components that we're able to manufacture, along with the development of the industry in Saudi Arabia with the technology, is a complete solution in the nuclear power industry development in Saudi Arabia. And I'm proud to be able to present to you today, and hope that in the future that Saudi and Arabia and the United States can work together as we have in developing the energy in the past and develop the energy in the future to come. Thank you very much.